Buckle up, folks. I've been teasing this for a while, but it honestly took me a bit to finish this review. My feelings on the CCA C16 are complicated. We're in a renaissance of cabled headphones. Some companies opting for more exacting tuning on single or dual drivers, other companies looking to flesh out the EQ spectrum with more drivers. I recently reviewed the CCA C10, which was fun. 5 drivers per ear at $40. Now 5 drivers are a lot in a single earbud casing. But then CCA hit me with that hold my beer moment. If 5 are good, then 8 drivers must be better at $150. Yup, each ear has 8 balanced armatures. A ton of hardware in each case to carve up specific frequencies of sound. Let's get design out of the way pretty quick. Traditional IEM style over-the-ear hooks on a somewhat mid-pack braided cable. The cable is replaceable, which I'll get back to in a bit. The overall build quality is a nice improvement over the C10, which I thought felt a little cheap even for their budget price. So they're nice. I think we get it. Let's chat sound quality. What's going on here? 8 balanced arms are a lot. Now, we often see a dynamic driver in the mix for low frequency. Balanced arms don't usually rumble like dynamic drivers can. The rated response on the C16 spec sheet verifies that, with a ton of top end, but no rated sub bass. Happily, these don't feel or lean thin. Instead, you get a really colorful exaggeration of the music you're familiar with. Like hard rock tracks, for example. Typically, hard rock isn't that bass heavy. Here, the C16 really bring guitar distortion and snarl right to the forefront. There's a ton of presence and air, but I couldn't find any serious faults where the C16 pushed pop tracks to the point of being shrill. And listening to some dancehall and club electronica, I still found some satisfying low-end rumble. 2 of those 8 drivers are modified specifically for bass, and 2 more for the low mids. This does seem to cover the EQ range better than other earbuds I've demoed, which also only use balanced armatures. But the overall effect is a bit difficult to describe without some really clumsy metaphors. Balanced arms are great for tight, controlled attacks. It's a little like turning the sharpening up on a photo. As mentioned, they almost seem to react to what you're listening to. If a song has a heavy focus on the mids, man, that's what you're really going to hear. And if there's a lot of air around a female vocalist, yeah, that sparkle is right in your face. It's more complicated than some of the generic terms we use, like smiley face EQ or deep V. It's clumsy, but in my brain, it kind of feels like the photo cropping effect in a Ken Burns documentary. The highlight of the image is pulled forward and the rest of the image is sort of blurred in the background. I know the C16 aren't actively doing that, but it kind of feels that way in my brain-ish. Happily, stereo separation was better than average. IEM still haven't caught up to large open cans, but this representation of the EQ space places instruments around your head really well. And balanced arms don't need as much air to produce sound, so isolation and rejection are very good here. There's a high degree of blocking out the noise around you. I mean, even wearing them on the flight to Taipei, they did great. I honestly am having a hard time hearing how loud my voice actually is out in space around me right now. Sorry, it's just really silly. I honestly don't know if I'm yelling at you right now. This hardware also perks up when you use a nicer cable. It's a selling point on some of the more expensive single drivers I've reviewed. It's the same deal here. My super fancy replacement cable wakes up the C16 a bit. It might be the placebo effect, but I swear they're a little clearer and a little brighter, but that's an extra $50 to add on to the price. So that's enough rambling on. It's time we wrap that up. Where's that leave us with the CCA C16? These buds are really fun, but we're probably hitting diminishing returns on sonic units to sound performance. At this price, the C16 represent a solid crossover option. Thanks to the great isolation, I'd feel pretty good about using these in location mixing situations, for talent on stage, and as a high-quality entertainment solution. The color and vibrance they produce, I don't know that I'd lean on them for mixing and mastering in studio, but with some familiarity and maybe a little EQ tweaking, they could fit well there too. These are really cool, but I have to wonder if we couldn't replicate this kind of performance with fewer drivers and a bit more sophisticated tuning, where I think many folks might struggle to hear the nuance between these and some high-quality triple drivers, or less expensive 5-unit earbuds with a dynamic driver in play. They're a bit spendy, but I really haven't heard anything quite like them. And I'll have a link below where you can find more information on the CCA C16 and maybe shop these buds online. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, subscribing to this channel. More than just picking out some good earbuds, we want to try and make sure you're getting the right fit audio kit for you. So if you'd like to help support the production of those conversations, there are links below in the description of this video, or you could consider joining the list of names scrolling by on your screen. A growing community of fun, like-minded tech pals, and an incredible resource for my future videos and reviews. I hope you'll check it out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Twitters and the Twitch and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and I will catch you all on the next review.